I'm now going to go through the Dragon of Death poem to have a look at the poet's use of language with you. You've probably already done it anyway, but just to have a look at some of the more difficult language, or you might have said the same as what I've said, but let's have a look together. So I'm going to read and I'm going to discuss it as I go along, just like I would if we were in class. Here we go. The Dragon of Death. In a faraway, faraway forest lies a treasure of infinite worth, but guarding it closely forever looms a being as old as the earth. Now, have you noticed that there's some repetition there? In a faraway, faraway forest, so it's trying to highlight how far away this forest actually is. And there's a word here, infinite. So the treasure has an infinite worth. So it's never ending. It's so, so valuable. It doesn't even have a price. But guarding it closely forever looms a being as old as the earth. So there's a creature, a being, and it's very, very old. Now, when we use the words like or as, it's called a simile. Second stanza or verse. Its body is big as a boulder, and armoured with shimmering scales. Even the mountain tops tremble when it thrashes its 7 great tails. Here we have another simile to help us visualise how big it is. We have this lovely description, vivid adjectives, shimmering scales, and it's armoured. It's armoured, so it's very protected. Even the mountaintops tremble. Now that's called personification because obviously mountains can't tremble, but it just shows how fierce this particular creature is when it thrashes its 7 great tails. Right, next stanza. Its eyes tell a story of terror. They gleam with an angry red flame as it timelessly watches its riches, and the Dragon of Death is its name. Its teeth are far sharper than daggers. They can tear hardest metal to shreds. It even has 7 mouths filled with these weapons, for its neck swells to 7 great heads. Okay, so again, it's so descriptive. It talks about these riches. So the riches are its treasure, and it timelessly watches. All it is doing is watching this treasure. Then we have the next stanza, loads more vivid description. Its teeth are far sharper than daggers. So it's helping us visualize. It's vivid description. It's helping us visualize it in our head. It's giving us an image. And again, it shows how fierce and tough this dragon is. Okay, because it can tear metal. And also we found out now that it has 7 heads. Okay, next stanza. Each head is as fierce as the other. Each head breathes a fiery breath, and any it touches must perish, set ablaze by the Dragon of Death. Now, everything else is quite self-explanatory, but this word perish, if you perish, it's not a nice death. I mean, to die anyway is not very nice, but if you perish, it means that you've had a really horrible death. And set ablaze, so obviously the person has burnt to death. Final stanza. All who have foolishly stumbled on the Dragon of Death's golden cache remain evermore in that forest, nothing left of their bodies but ash. Okay, so again, it's saying you would only be a fool to try and get this treasure, to go up against this dragon. Now, this cache is spelled differently to money cache. A cache is basically a collection of items that are usually hidden or in a place that you can't get to. Okay, so it's different to the word cash, like money cache. So it's his little treasure, his collection, or a big treasure. And then the final thing is, they said the people who have gone to look for the treasure, they are still in that forest and they're going to stay there forever. However, they're only going to be a pile of ash. So there you go. We have the Dragon of Death, and we've got a lovely poem. Obviously, you've noticed the rhyming words as well. Okay, so every second and fourth line is a rhyme. And there we go. There's another rhyme as well. So I'm going to let you carry on with the rest of your activity, which is answering the questions based around the poem. and showing how much you understand, and you can analyse the poem as well. Okay, so carry on with the presentation and yeah, have fun.